Hey everyone, get ready to take notes because we are about to discuss the random kingdom question of the day. And that question is, how exactly did Jesus fulfill the Old Testament sacrificial system? So without further ado, let's get right into it. How Jesus fulfilled the Old Testament sacrificial system was by becoming the final and perfect sacrifice for sin, making the repetitive animal sacrifices obsolete. The Old Testament rituals foreshadowed his ultimate atonement, which permanently removes the barrier between God and humanity. Atonement, the reconciliation between God and humanity, was the central purpose of the sacrificial system. Jesus' death accomplished this in a complete and eternal manner. The shedding of blood in the Old Testament symbolized the sin incurs the penalty of death. Jesus paid this debt by sacrificing his life as a ransom for many. While the Old Covenant rituals provided ceremonial purification, Jesus' blood cleanses the conscience from the dead works of sin. By being buried with Christ in his death and raised to a new life, believers are liberated from the power of sin. Before Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice for us, the Old Testament high priest originally served as a mediator between God and the people annually, entering the Holy of Holies to offer a sacrifice on their behalf. This is why the epistle to the Hebrews portrayed Jesus as the great high priest. Unlike the high priest who entered the most holy place only once a year on a Day of Atonement with the blood of an animal, Jesus entered the heavenly sanctuary with his own blood, establishing an everlasting redemption. Jesus fulfilled and surpassed this role. By presenting his own flawless body, Jesus rendered the old covenant obsolete and inaugurated a new one grounded in forgiveness and grace rather than a cycle of animal sacrifices. Unlike the Levitical priests who offered sacrifices for their own sins and for those of the people, Jesus was sinless. This made his self-sacrifice inherently superior. Instead of entering an earthly sanctuary, Jesus ascended to heaven itself to offer his blood. His death tore the temple veil, symbolizing the direct access to God is now available to all believers. This explains why John the Baptist referred to Jesus as the Lamb of God, because Jesus' blood is the one that eliminates the world's sin. This connection links Jesus to the sacrificial lamb of the Passover and other Old Testament animal sacrifices. As the perfect sinless sacrifice, Jesus was unblemished, surpassing the physical perfection required of animals. Christians understood that the Old Testament sacrificial system was instituted by God to serve a temporary symbolic purpose until Christ's coming. The law and its sacrifices were meant to be a foreshadowing, a shadow that taught Israel about sin, the need for atonement, and the coming Messiah. While